Hi guys, and welcome to my channel, and this is my very first video, and welcome. My name is Callie, and today we'll be talking about toxic relationships. And do you feel like you're in one, right? So the thing about this is, do you feel like sometimes it's on or off, you don't know what's really happening, you feel like it's happening and it's working and next thing it's not? So stay tuned with me because I'm going to get into depth about toxic relationships. So firstly, what is toxic relationships? Have a think, right? You know, it actually brings down your self-esteem, it brings down your confidence, it brings down and questions your self-worth because you're hoping that it'll work and you're supposed to spend so much time trying to have it to work, and yet it's not going the places that you want to go, and you start to question, is this right, is it not? However, people tend to choose to stay because they're hoping that the ideal of a relationship and chasing for the relationship is still there, right? You're chasing for the dream. However, the longer you stay in a toxic relationship, the worse and harder it becomes. Yeah, so let's get into the tips. So tip number one, do you feel drained and stressed in the relationship? You know, in a relationship, it shouldn't be draining, it shouldn't be stressful trying to be in this relationship to keep it going, to keep it moving forward. Yes, I do believe there will be disagreements and there will be arguments. However, it shouldn't be stressful and draining. And if you're constantly trying to put work in and trying to make it work, and it doesn't seem like it's working, or the other party is not paying any attention or not caring, this is the first sign that you're in a toxic relationship. Yeah. And the thing is, you know, you need to recognize these things about, you know what, if it's not working and there's so many methods are tried and there's still, you know, no picking up or no change, so you need to reflect on these things and really think, okay, am I in the right relationship? And if you choose, or when you choose to continue with this type of relationship, oh, it's definitely a toxic relationship. So keep in mind, if you're feeling really drained and stressed about the situation and you feel like this relationship is just going around in cycles, is not going anywhere, and this is a sign of in a toxic relationship. So now, tip number two, do you feel like you're actually sacrificing yourself for this relationship, right? You used to do hiking, you used to do so many adventurous things, you have this type of hobby, you used to be creative, and somehow, suddenly and slowly, you stop doing the things that you used to do. You stop going out with your girls or, you know, your male friends. You stop doing the activities that you used to do. You stop going out the way you want to go out to and have fun. You just stop. And then because of this type of relationship, or because of this relationship, that you're trying to make it work, and you're kind of sacrificing everything that you always known and everything that you always have been to be someone or to try to fit into this relationship. And that's the thing, in a healthy relationship, you shouldn't have to do that. You should be able to, yes, spend time together and share those special moments together. However, at the same time, you still be able to actually, you know what, I'm going to head out with the girls tonight. Actually, I'm going to head out with my boys just to have a few drinks, and or even go out and just have a shopping spree, or, you know, go out to a yoga session, however you normally do your things, and it still be okay. Because in a relationship, there's understanding, there's commitment, there's respect, and yet at the same time respect each other's personal space and respect, you know, things they like to do, but yet, you know, wanting to be together, share those moments together. And that is how a healthy relationship should be. And tip number three. So, you're in a relationship, and the thing is, the truth is, it takes two to tangle, right? You know, both parties need to put into effort into making it work. Both parties need to work together. Both parties need to talk. And that's the thing, when you don't have that communication, when you're not opening up, and one's trying and one's not, and one doesn't care and one does, this is a recipe for disaster. And for you to actually recognize that, you know, if it's not working, then it's not working, you know. And the person which is maybe interested or maybe not, or distracted or busy, and when someone does really care about you or understands you or really wants to be with you, they will really put in the effort to find ways to make it work, to find ways, you know, to talk about it, you know, to resolve it. However, this person is not contributing or working on it or trying to make this relationship work. It's actually a sign that you should reflect on what is happening in relationship. And you know what, maybe it is not working, you know. And if it's only one-sided, it's really time to actually move forward and say, you know what, it's not working, and maybe end a relationship or find a better way to even, you know, talk about it. And in a healthy relationship, two parties actually talk together, they actually communicate, they actually respect each other, they actually take time out for each other. I know there's going to be fights, there's going to be disagreements, however, they still come together and talk about it and make it a healthy relationship, and they actually try for each other to make it work. So on your end, if they're not actually trying or actually even bothering to even work on these things, then maybe you just really need to question what's really happening. And if when you decide to stay longer, not healthy at all. The longer you stay, the harder it is for you to get out, the more pain, the more hurt. And the fact is, the longer you stay, I know you're chasing for, you're hoping that that's your ideal relationship. The truth is, you know in your heart if it is working or not. And when you believe that and just follow your heart, it's always the right path. There's always another person out there. So this leads me to the next tip. So now brings me to tip number 4. And tip number 4 is a very obvious one. And this is about physical and verbal abuse. This is definitely, in my books, a definitely no-no. And I know some women are having reasons why they're staying in a relationship, you know, due to children or due to dependence on this person. However, in hindsight, at the end of it all, it's not okay to be physically or verbally abused by a male or female in a relationship. It's definitely not okay, especially when they start, you know, undermining you, they start, you know, grabbing you, pushing you, hitting you. Definitely is a no, and run when you have someone do that. You can do so much better. And the fact is, even verbal abuse, like how they mentally undermine you, belittle you, and just say nasty words. And the fact that after they've done that, they turn around and tell you how much they love you and try to justify what they've done. But the fact is, when you know someone's behavior is like that, you need to reflect on that and really think, you know what, do I want to be in a relationship that's going to cause me so much pain, so much hurt, so much abuse, like mentally and physically, you know, and do I really want to be here to do that with that person, you know? Or do you rather find someone out there, even if you have to travel alone for a bit, until you find your ground, until you find someone else, right? And there is always a way. And especially if you're in a really, you know, verbally and physical abuse situation, please call the helpline and please seek out for help, you know, because it's the best way for you. And definitely in this type of toxic relationship, it's definitely toxic, right? In a healthy relationship, no matter how things are going downhill, no matter how things are not to how you normally do it, there's disagreements and arguments, and that's okay. However, at the same time, there's no nasty words, there's no undermining, there's no, you know, abuse, no one's throwing anything at each other or hurting each other, because that's not good, you know. Arguing at times is good because you actually, okay, cool, let's find a way to resolve it, let's build a relationship. I know we have disagreements and work on it. However, if you're getting abused physically and verbally, undermining it, and you can't even have the words to say to defend yourself, or you can't even have a chance, or don't even have a chance to defend yourself because they're just attacking you, that's definitely not a great relationship. It is definitely a toxic relationship. And so when you're in one, or if you are in one, please grab some help. Talk to a friend, get some professional help, and really get out of a situation, because no one, male or female, should be in this situation. Yeah, or stay in this situation, because it's very painful, very hurtful for yourself and for the people that are around you who see you in a relationship and you're still keen to stay there, right? So get right out. So now, tip number 5. Tip number 5 is about lacking trust. Now, in a great relationship, a healthy relationship, trust is definitely necessary. So when you see your partner or you creeping on them, like looking at their phone, checking their emails, sniffing their shirts, or doing all sorts of stuff because you don't trust them or they don't trust you and they're doing that to you, this is definitely not a healthy relationship, and it's definitely a toxic relationship. In a healthy relationship, there is mutual trust. Of course, knowing, you got to judge it on your books as well, knowing that, okay, this person's been really good. I trust my judgment. I trust the decisions that I made to choose the right person, and to trust that the person that you have chose really is the person that they say they are, unless proven otherwise, And also, when you're in a relationship and this person is actually the amazing person, however, you bring in your trust issues, and that is something that you may have to reflect on, because even if you end this relationship because you don't trust them, the next relationship may be quite similar, because the issues or about the trust issue that you have is still there. You can go on to relationship after relationship after relationship. However, it will be exactly the same thing. And this brings me to the next tip. Tip number 6, right? Now, are you constantly lying to each other, right? Or one person's lying to another, and there's total dishonesty in the relationship. So you don't know if they're telling the truth, you don't know if they want to not tell you because they don't trust you. There's just total no trust in relationships. So when you feel like you're in a relationship where you're constantly lying to each other, or one person's lying to the other person, then this is definitely a toxic relationship, right? And you feel like you can't talk to the person, you can't open up, or they don't want to open up to you, or you feel like they're just lying just because they don't care, then that's something, you have to reflect on and really think, okay, is this right? Because if I'm in a relationship and we can't trust each other and there is constant lies, you spoke about it and this person's still lying and doesn't really care, and that's something you need to step back and have a look and really reflect, okay, is this going to work? And when you choose to stay, like I mentioned before, it's going to be really painful and, so much hurt, because you chose to stay hoping that it will work out. And the thing is to have awareness at first, especially early relationships, if they show signs of lies, they show signs of dishonesty, they show signs of abuse, of any of the tips, it's a sign that you should run as fast as you can, or even turn around and walk away. Maybe you can trial it for a week or two to confirm the fact that they are or not. However, when they are, turn around and find someone else, because there's always someone better out there for you. So stay tuned with me, because next week I'll be talking about how to get out of toxic relationships. So click on the subscribe button and click on the notification button and stay tuned with me. My name is Callie, and I talk about relationships, mindset and lifestyle balances. And check out my bio and description below. I've got some freebies for you and also links to all sorts of goodies. In the meantime, I'll see you next week, and have a good day.